people do. Parquet is a columnar storage file format. Okay. So why columnar? See, you must be knowing, right? The columnar databases are gaining a lot of popularity than the row-based databases because of the performance, everything. Okay. And because nowadays, see, we are in the big data era. The volume of the data are too huge. Petabytes and above volume of data is there. So in that case, if you want to perform any analytics, if the data is stored in the columnar format, the performance will be pretty faster. Okay. So using the Parquet file, right, you can store the data efficiently. The retrieval of the large data also, you can do it in an efficient way with the columnar storage format. So Parquet file is a columnar storage file format. So you can, so with this you can do compression, okay, and it supports various compression algorithms, okay, to reduce this row ranging requirements and also to improve the IO performance and all. And also it offers the selective reading, okay, without loading the entire data set. It selects the data from the specific columns alone as per your need. For example, you want to select the 22 values from the two columns, right? It goes to the appropriate column and then it fetches the data. I just explain you what is the difference between row-based and column-based. What is the difference between row-based data and column-based data? Anybody has any idea? Row-based and why columnar databases are gaining a lot of popularity? See, let's say you have column 1, column 2, column 3, let's up to 89 columns are there. Okay. Let's assume that in this data set, the data are stored in the, usually the data gets stored in the row based, right? Row 1, row 2, row 3 and all. The tables, okay? We have column 1, column 2, column 3 and column A. Let's in this, hypothetically, in this table, we have 89 columns are there. And let's say, you wanted to access only the column 8 and column 62. Column 8 and column 62 data, because column 8 has the region name, and the column 62 name is, let's assume that the sales amount, okay? And column 1 is something like, your invoice number, and the product key and line item key, order number, line item key, and then your product key, and so on. Okay. So, but the column 8 and column 62, you have the region and sales amount column is there. So in the case of row based, you are firing a query to select the data only from region and sales amount. In the case of row based, what will happen is, it will go and fetch because in your query you are using region and sales amount only. Select region, sales amount from so-and-so table, fine. But what will happen behind the scene is, it goes and check whether the first column is a region or not. No, the first column is let's assume that order number, okay? This is not a region name. So hence it will skip. It will keep skip until it finds the region column. Okay, this is the region column. Okay, so especially if you have petabytes and above volume of data, so in that case, skipping the columns until finds out the desired column will take longer time. It will slow down your performance. So that's when what they did, they came up with something called column-oriented databases. What are the examples for column-oriented databases? NoSQL databases, right? So you have something called columnar databases, NoSQL databases. Okay, so nothing but your, can you say, yeah, MongoDB and MarkLogic NoSQL database, and HBase, and what is that? The Cassandra. These are the databases or columnar databases. And you might be asking, I want to learn Power BI. please take up that mind, learning Power BI alone will not give you a job. Okay, you need to know many things. Okay, so the NoSQL databases are gaining popularity because the data gets stored in the columnar format. So these are the columnar databases like HBase and MarkLogic, Cassandra, and so on. Okay, MongoDB. Okay. Yeah, so MongoDB, yes, it's a document data store. Okay, I don't want to discuss in depth. Okay, so what happens in this case? The columns are stored separately. Okay, each column is stored separately. Instead of storing all the columns in a single table, store each column separately. Okay, you have you have C8 column stored separately, and then you have CC2 column is also, each column will get stored separately. Instead of storing all the columns in a single table, each column value itself will get stored separately. So in that case, what will happen? Your query, you want to select from the region and sales amount. So in that case, it goes directly to the appropriate column. Whatever the column that you use it in a query, that it goes directly to that specific column and then fetch the value. Hence, the performance is pretty faster compared to a row-based database. Okay, so that's why I told you the columnar database are pretty faster than the row-based data in the case of huge volume of data, big data. Okay. So next one is the schema evaluation. It's suppose schema evaluation. What is schema evaluation? See, if you want to make changes to schema without modifying existing data, that is also pretty faster. For example, you want to rename the column or something, right? It will be pretty faster. And importantly, compatibility. Okay, it's compatible with the Parquet data file, right? It's compatible with wide range of big data processing frameworks and tools. Okay. So this is pretty much about the Parquet. If you wanted to know more about the Parquet, you can go and check it in the net. Anyhow, don't break your head too much. I just click on the get data here and I just click on more. And here I just type Parquet. Let me see if I can get the Parquet related connector. Parquet, look here, PARQ only I typed it. I can see this connector. I just double click on it. I don't remember the file name that I used it. Let me see. Okay, it shows the URL, advanced URL review, right? So, I don't have the URL. Sorry, guys. URL, okay, even URL. So, you see the file is available on some cloud, right? You can specify the URL directly there. Okay, so you can get it. Let me check, if I have another laptop, I'll check where the URL, which one I used it. But earlier in the previous version, I'm sure it was asking a lot of changes happened here in the um, see earlier it used to ask us to load the data here, URL preview and basic here, and now it is asking URL. So previously you will be able to upload the file also here. Okay, you don't have to enter the URL and all. And 1 second, let me just see if I can upload it in our website. Let me first check Parquet file where it is available in my local system. Version, that's why the version to version, every versions they are making changes. Can you just upload it there? Rajesh, can you upload it in our website? One second, I'll ask our people to upload this file in our website so that I can use that URL. Okay, let me just do one thing. I will just go to the that one folder. And here, let me just check the Parquet file. Okay, star dot for. I think I forgot it. See, house price dot Parquet is there, right? So what I do is I just go ahead and select this one, the folder name. Okay, folder name with the file name. We can use that as a URL. Okay, not necessarily URL. Okay, you need to specify the directory with the directory name and the path. Okay. So here, what I will do is I'll just go here and then right click on it. Okay, d dot that one. First, I'll go here. House price. Wait. House price. Yeah, Parquet file. So this is available here. I just copy paste it here. And but here, before you paste it, you need to use file. Okay, file. It's not a URL. The basic thing I'm going to use it. File colon forward slash forward slash. 3 forward slash. You need to use it. And then here, I just copy paste d colon that one. And here, what I will do is I'll just change this one, that one, and then paste it. This is another way of loading it. Now it is reading it, correct. So if you have this file available in your website or somewhere, you need to use the URL. But the alternative is you can specify file colon forward slash forward slash. Yeah, this feature was available in the previous version also. Sorry, I forgot this one. Okay, the file prefix. Just now I remembered. So look here, these are the contents are there in my Parquet file. Okay, very simple one. I just load it. Okay, the Preeti's question is we don't see the data are stored separately here. See the file. When you see the file content, it will be like this. But once you load it right, behind the scene, it will get converted as a columnar data. See, first of all, in Power BI, whether it is Parquet file or any other file, if you use it in the import mode, it is in memory. The data gets stored in memory. But in the behind the scene, what happens is the Power BI engine, right? The X velocity, we have something like X velocity engine. What it does is, in the case of import, it transform your tabular data into columnar data automatically. So then why should I use Parquet file? What is so, like I said, the Parquet supports the compression technique and everything, okay? And here the house price, this is one type of data. That's all. Look here, it got loaded successfully. And we could see that here, let's wait for a few seconds. Yeah, here there is no direct mode. It's a file, right? It is not a database. But Dataverse, you can use both the import as well as the direct query mode. So you can see the data now. All the data that belongs to Parquet file, you can see it now. So in the interview, if they ask you, what are the source system files that you used it, you can tell them I've used the Parquet file. So if you go to the model view, so according to Power BI, everything is a table. Okay, our house price is a table. That's all. You need to, let's say you have another table. If you want to join it, you can join it. Okay, that's all. So now you learned how to load the Parquet file in your Power BI desktop. Yeah, that's what I requested them. I think they are doing it. So you need to click on the more, but more here. You need to type the connector as PAR. So you can see the Parquet, even Spark is there, and Azure SD Insight Spark is there, right? So a lot of connectors are there. Spark is one of the connectors. It is Parquet file is predominantly used in the big data environment. This is to have support the columnar storage file format. Okay, it supports columnar storage file format. Compression is possible, and it compresses the data also. This is basically right. So these are the things are by default happening behind the scene when you use the import mode in Power BI itself. Okay. So then why should I use Parquet file? Supposing the customer gives you the data in the form of Parquet file, you should be knowing it, how to load it. Okay. That's all. Okay. But behind the scene, whether it is a Parquet file or the Excel file or right, so non-database related, right? So whenever you use the default import mode, or even the import mode, right? So what it happens is behind the scene, it is converting your table or data into columnar data, and then it compresses the data, and finally it loads the data in memory. Okay, if the data is available in memory, the performance is pretty faster. The in-memory databases are pretty popular. It is not quite new one. It has been there since long time. Okay. So hope you understood with this simple demo how to